this video, we're going to solve literal equations. And what that means is that the final answer is going to have not just x equals a number, but it's also going to equal an expression, which, remember, an expression has a variable still in it as well. So for instance, I am still going to use our backwards PEMDAS technique, where we undo adding and subtracting first, and then we undo multiplying and dividing second. That's typically how we do things. So when I look at number 2 here, they want me to solve for x. So I have to undo what is being added or subtracted to x. So I'm going to subtract y from both sides. That leaves me with 3x equals m minus y. Now, like before, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. The only difference is I'm going to divide the entire side by 3. So my final answer is x equals m minus y over 3. The only difference between this problem and what you would have probably seen on the other side of the paper is I don't actually know what m minus y happens to be. So I just leave it that way. In number 4, I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to multiply both sides by c to get rid of the big fraction. So that leaves me with 3x plus y equals m times c. And those c's cancel. So now I want to get x by itself. So I'm going to undo adding and subtracting. So I'm going to subtract y from both sides. But I don't know what mc minus y happens to equal. So I'm just going to leave it as mc minus y. So now this is 3 times x. So I'm going to undo that by dividing both sides by 3. And we get x equals m times c minus y divided by 3. That is your answer. Now, one of the ways that we actually use these literal equations and why it is beneficial for us to solve them is because when we get formulas from geometry, such as this one here, number 6, for the perimeter of a parallelogram, what that lets us do is, instead of repeatedly solving over and over and over again, what we could do is we could solve this formula here. They're asking us to solve for w. And I'm going to use a capital L. So I'm going to subtract 2L from both sides. I don't know what P is, so I get P minus 2L equals 2W. So now I'm going to divide all of both sides by 2. And what this will tell me is, if I know the perimeter and the length of a parallelogram, I can find the width just by substituting in to this formula. Now, similarly, in number 8, this is the formula for the area of a triangle. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. And they want me to get h by itself. So I have 2 times a equals b times h. So now I'm going to divide both sides by b. And so h equals 2 times a divided by b. if I know the length of the base of a triangle and I know the area, I can use this formula and it will tell me the height every single time. Now, let's look at some problems that might appear a little bit more difficult, such as number 10 here. Well, just remember, when you're solving literal equations, what it means is you just can't combine things. So I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to add 5y to both sides. So I'm left with 4x over 3 equals. Okay, I have no idea what 11w is or what 5y is, so I have to keep them as such. Now what I'm going to do is, because I have a fraction here, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. But it's the whole side. So I have to be a little creative here. 3 times 11 equals 33. 3 times 5 is 15. And because I did that to the whole side, I had to use parentheses. So now I'm going to divide everything by 4, and it's the whole side again. So my final answer is, and I've run out of room, let's see if I can squeeze this in here, x equals 33w plus 15y over 4. Now number 12 here looks like it's going to be really complicated, but it really works out nicely. Because I'm going to have to distribute here. So here we go, 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. This is supposed to be an equal sign here. So now, and they want me to solve for x, so I'm going to move the x's to the left. So because this is positive 4x, I'm going to minus 4x from both sides. I get 2x plus 8y equals 4 minus 4, that cancels, equals 12y. So now I'm going to subtract 8y from both sides to get the x's by itself. And we're left with 2x equals 4y. And then when I divide by 2, not 2x, just 2, because I want the x to stay put, I get x equals 2y, because 4 divided by 2 is 2. And that's my solution. I hope you found these examples helpful, and I hope you have a great day.